In this video, I'm going to share with you how I took a brand new struggling life insurance agent. Their first week only sold $2,000 of premium to last week they sold $15,000 of premium. And what I'm going to share with you guys is the one framework to live by, the one blueprint that you can use right now in your business as a life insurance agent that will completely change everything, that will double, triple, quadruple your sales. And if you do what I'm about to share with you, I promise you 2026 will be the best year of your life selling life insurance if you live by what I'm about to share with you. I coach this agent, I help this agent, and they live by this blueprint and they completely quadrupled their sales. And before you're like, what is on your ears? Why are you wearing this headset? I'm going to give this a try. And I know this video is so good, no matter what's around my ears, it will help change your life. So if you're tired of getting hung up on, if you're tired of not making the money that you want to be making as a life insurance agent, if you're just struggling, I use this. And my first year, I sold over $500,000 of life insurance and made six figures. And I just know this is the best stuff that will make you win as a life insurance agent going into 2026. Cool? So let's go into some real proof and some real data. Before I share with you what this blueprint is, but I want to give you guys some real data. This agent, you can see here on my screen, they started back in July 1st, right? They were previously at another IMO, struggling, not getting the training, not getting the support. And they were like, hey, Peter, I'm going to try to work with you because I need this to work. And I hope it does work. I'm going to give your company a shot, my agency, Legacy Family Life. So they came in and they didn't have the training. They didn't have the support. And this might be where you guys are right now in your journey. And they sold, as you can see here, $2,000 of premium, $2,361 of premium. And check this number out. This is crazy. They did 767 dials to make a sale. All the work. And the reason that that work was there is because they weren't implementing what I'm about to teach you in this video. But once they implemented what I'm going to share with you in this video, you can see last week, December 1st, December 7th, right here, bottom, boom. This same agent sold $15,000 of business, and they had an average premium of $1,281. They made 12 sales, and check this out. Every $135, this agent made money. Okay. And it's all because they followed this 5-step framework. Now, to the right of me, you can see here what I'm going to break this down. Okay. This is the blueprint. Okay. If you live by this blueprint, I promise you your money problems will go away. Okay. So, first thing we want to talk about is contacts. Okay. We try to overcomplicate final expense. We try to overcomplicate selling life insurance. We try to overcomplicate it all. This is why it's easier than we ever thought it would be. The goal number one is to make sure that you are getting enough contacts to make sure that you are making the money that you want to be making as a life insurance agent. Okay. Why is that important? Because without contacts, you will not be on the phone. Okay. If you are not on the phone, then you're going to struggle to make money. And the way that you can do this is you want to look at your contacts. Okay. I'm going to kind of draw and erase things so that you guys can understand what I'm looking here. But your contacts are how many people that you are speaking to. Okay. If you are not speaking to enough people, you are going to struggle. And if you're not speaking to enough people, then you typically have a few problems, such as you have a lead problem or you have some type of intro problem. So your contacts are so important. Your contacts, how I describe them is if you speak to someone for at least 60 seconds, okay? If you speak to someone for 60 seconds, you should then be able to get in past the intro. If you cannot get past the intro, again, your leads are bad or your intro sucks, okay? And if you're spending $300, $400 and speaking 1 to 2 people per day, then you have a bad system. You need to get better leads and you have a better system to get more contacts. Now, how do you get more contacts? There's a few things that we focus on to get more contacts. Number one, that comes down to speed to lead, okay? So as you're thinking through how can I get more contacts, you need to get better at contacting your leads when they come in. Okay. One of the biggest things that we focus on is a 2-minute or less speed lead. When that lead is filled out, you want to have your system optimized so that when that lead comes in, it gets called immediately. Okay. That is the best way to get more contacts. And again, without contacts, you can't do this business of outbound sales. So speed to lead is the number one most important too. Secondly, is you have to have a qualified lead, which I talked about a little few times, a qualified lead, because selling $15,000 off of a shared lead or a lead that's, a 2-year-old lead that's a gold, like a silver lead or a bronze lead that's been recycled and recycled is going to be really difficult. So high quality lead source is reflected in how many dials per contact. So if you're making about 50 dials to get one pickup, I say that's pretty strong. If you're getting 30 dials to one pickup, that's even stronger. And our goal here at our company is around 22 dials our agents are going to get one pickup. Okay, so that's a reflection of your system. So the first metric that you need to track in this bulletproof system is your contacts. Okay, you can't skip this. It all revolves around your contacts. If you're not speaking to enough people, you're not making sales. So you want to make sure at least you're getting 12 to 16 contacts per day. And you can see for this agent when they were crushing it, you can see they got 100 contacts. So every day they were getting about 15 or so contacts or more. So that is why they were able to get those results. Okay. The second part of this is second framework, which is your presentations. Okay. Presentation is how many people you present numbers to. Okay. In order to win as a life insurance agent, the more people you present to, the more money that you're going to make. Now, what is a presentation? A presentation is when you give someone a quote. Okay. Quotes pay your bills. So the goal is to have a good intro that allows you to get into the presentation. That presentation allows you to quote. Okay. Now, why is this important? Because no matter how good you are or how bad you are as a life insurance agent, if you got 5 presentations every single day, you are going to make sales. It's just a law of numbers. I've been doing this for about almost 4.5 years now, and I used to outsmart the system. I think about, man, if I could do it with 2 presentations, or no, at the end of the day, life insurance, final expense, over the phone, the person that gets the most amount of quotes will win. So what you want to do is make sure that your system is going to optimize for that, but ultimately you got to check what is your contact to presentation rate. Okay, contact to presentation rate. If you're getting a 50% contact to presentation rate, that means for everyone who picks up the phone, you're going to get them into a presentation. That is good. That means you have a good intro, you have a good objection handling, you're quick with the underwriting, and you have a really good swift discovery that brings value. Okay, so the goal is to get to a 50% contact to presentation rate so that you are getting at least 5 presentations per day. Because with 5 presentations a day, I promise you and guarantee your bank account will grow because you will quote enough people. And if you are not getting 5 presentations, guess what you need to do? You need to compensate that with activity, okay? Because there's gonna be many days, and there's many days when I was a life insurance agent, I had 3 or 4 presentations, and it was 5 or 6 p.m. and I was tired. I wanted to give up, and I was like, no, I have to sit in the pocket. I remember many days where I was laying on the ground with my stomach on the floor, with my AirPods in, with my laptop on the ground, doing whatever it takes to get that 5th presentation. And you'd be so surprised on that 5th presentation. Mark my words, when you've made no sales all day, but that 5th presentation is the one that says yes. So you want to make sure that you're optimizing and simplifying your process to make it easier to win as a life insurance agent. 2026, you can't skip this, is making sure that you have 5 presentations. Now, the second thing that is controllable to all variables. Now, it's easy to want to make more money as a life insurance agent, but no one can outsmart activity. The third thing that this agent did that you need to prioritize is 250 dials minimum. Okay, you can see here this agent did 1,600 dials, and that's about 270 dials per day for 6 days in a row. Okay, and what you can see here is that in order to get 5 presentations per day, that agent had to work the extra day. They needed to do their 250 dials. Maybe they're coming in that extra day on a weekend to hit their goals. Whatever it takes to win. But your dials are something that you can't outsmart. I don't care how good you are. Now, what you're going to notice here is that your dials per sale will go down when your skill set goes up. Okay, this is the best thing about skills. Okay, so like let's just say I've been doing this for a long time. Y'all have seen my channel. I'm decent at what I do, right? I might only need to make 75 dials to make one sale, and then who's maybe you are still learning, or getting your grips under you, or you're just trying to do that. Or even when I was first getting started, 400 dials to make equals one sale when I first got started, or 600 dials. And the thing that changes is your confidence comes up. Your ability to know the process goes better. Your underwriting ability gets better, and the only way to get better by doing the work is by doing the work, guys. So there's no way that you can outsmart the systems. And I used to always think, man, how can I make more money as a life insurance agent? What do I have to do? I'm going to try to do inbound leads, or I'm going to try the overseas, or I'm going to buy, TV call-in leads. I've tried it all. At the end of the day, your goal to maintain the lowest cost of acquisition, to make the most amount of money, and just to succeed as a life insurance agent, you can't do anything other than sit in the chair and dial. Okay. Now there's things that you can do to make dialing easy. At our company, we have an automatic dialer. You click a button and it auto dispositions for you. It's quick and easy. But if you're doing it off your phone, do it off your phone. If you're doing it from a CRM, do it off the CRM. At the end of the day, we can't outsmart the systems. These are the 3 core things that are all cognizant or that paired together with 250 dials. Now you'll see here the fourth thing that you can't skip out on, guys. This is the metric that I promise, keep watching this video, will help you win as a life insurance agent in 2026 is you did 250 dials, which is our KPI here. But secondly, you're going to pair those 250 dials with at least 5 hours of talk time. If you're doing 250 dials plus your talk time of 5 hours, you are setting yourself up for success. Okay. And this is important because you might say, how are you going to do 250 dials and do 5 hours of talk time? Well, it's all about efficiency. It's when you're here to work, you're here to work. When you're on the dialer, you're on the dialer. Your phone's away, you're not distracted, you're not chit-chatting on Zoom, you're not, taking long lunch breaks. You're doing whatever it takes to maximize your day. Because when it comes down to the sales process, every sales agent is limited by time, right? There's only so much time in the day that all of us have as agents. So what we're trying to do is maximize our ability to get as many presentations as possible. And the way to do that is by putting in your dials and doing your activity and getting the talk time. Because if you're doing 5 hours of talk time, then you're sure as heck going to be hitting your presentation goals. And if you're doing your 5 hours of talk time, you're going to be speaking to enough people on the phone enough, and you want to make more sales? Speak to more people longer. Now, I'm not saying that speaking longer on the phone is going to help you, because if you don't know what you're doing, being longer on the phone is not going to help you. But at the end of the day, if your voice is shot, if you feel vocally strained, that means you've done well, you've exhausted your voice, you put in the work, and you're going to go out there and help more people. Okay, so there's the four things that you can't skip. That is in the core framework that I'm going to share with you. Now, you're going to see the available time. This agent worked a 40-hour week plus 10 extra hours for the weekends. Okay, so coming into Friday, this agent was at 9 sales, right? And they came in because, maybe I want to make more money. This is the key, guys. This is the key to win, right? 9 sales is great. People be like, I'm cool with that. 9 sales, what most people are unable to do. And I'm going to pause this video really quick. By now, you should potentially know that I have a life insurance agency. We're Legacy Family Life. We'll give you the leads. We'll give you the systems. We'll help you grow. We'll help you build a team. Whatever you want to do, your goals can fit inside of our company. I'm tired of people not knowing that I have an agency, so I'm sharing that with the world. If you want to work with me, if you want to get coached up, I can turn any life insurance agent, no matter if you're good, you're bad, you're new to the industry, I can help you win. Okay, now back to the video. So let's talk about this. 9 sales, a lot of be like, cool, I'm good. 9 sales at the job. But to win, to make the 6 figures, it's what are you going to do to go past your boundaries? And this is what I did, right? Your Saturdays should be a non-negotiable, right? Your Saturdays in this business are the separators. The Saturdays, if you're not at your 10 to 12 deals, it's like, what can I do? Can I come in for a few more hours on a Saturday? Or can I ask for that extra referral to set up my Saturday to make more money? Like, this is what it takes to win in 2026, guys. 40 hours are great if that's what your goals are, but the availability time is what helps you win. You can't run from the dialer. You can't run from the basics. You can't run from the contacts. You can't run from the presentations. You can't run from the dials. You can't run from the talk time. You can't run from the available hours in the dialer doing the work. And if you can't run from the work, that's the work that needs to be doing. Okay, so we can always think through recruiting. We can always think through like all these other things or building out systems. Like that all takes you away from doing the work. And I promise you right now, if you're not hitting your sales goals, if you're not exactly where you want to be sales wise, it's like, what are you doing outside of spending 8 hours per day selling? Sitting down, selling, and only doing that. And everything else that you're doing in those 8 hours that are taking away from revenue generating, I promise you, you're going to struggle as an agent. Customer service work is going to pull you away for a few hours. Trying to build this team. No, all that extra stuff needs to be done after the 8 hours, because sales pays your bills. That is the number one priority. That is the number one focus that you need to focus on if you want to win as a life insurance agent in 2026. Now, let's talk through the average premium stuff here. This is a really important metric on making sure that your bank account is moving forward. Okay, you can see when this agent came in, didn't really know how to sell the right way, didn't know how to potentially pitch their options correctly, and their average premium was $787. So pitching really, really low, and they got it up to $1281. Okay, an average premium. If you want to make more money, guys, the simplest way, and I've been doing this for 4 years now, is to sell the same volume or just do a little bit less, but make your product worth more, or sell higher average tickets. So how do you do that? It's very simple. We do the $80, $100, and then the max option quote. Okay, we have the 3 option quote. You start at $80 typically, you give them the price. You start at $100 and then you give them the price, right? Then you go to the max option. This is called the decoy option. We don't ever really want them to go with this decoy option because we're going to sound like something like this. Well, Miss Betty, this max option, with you being a mother, I don't know if I'd even recommend my own mother doing this. I think it's way more than you need, but if you did want this to account for inflation and costs going up in the future, this option could do that for you. That option would be $199 per month, okay? So that's going to be a decoy option, okay? But as long as you start at a decent option, what this is the popcorn trick, right? This is the small popcorn at the movie theaters that's too small, and this is the large popcorn that's too expensive. $18 for a popcorn that's too expensive. I don't want that. And they typically end up in the middle option for the $100. And if you position your options that way correctly, you'll end up with more $100 policies. You'll make more money, and ultimately, selling too low is the worst way. Bad clients who can't afford nothing, that can't stick. You got to keep your average premium over $1,000. You do that, you make more money. And then in this case, this person sold 74% simplified issue business. Okay, if you want to put more money in your pocket, sell more simplified issue business. What that means is that you need to be the master at pivoting. So if they get declined somewhere, you got to pivot to another company, and then position your products, guys. Don't just be a one-shot pony. Have 3 to 5 different simplified issue carriers where that if they don't get approved, you can pivot to another one, and then you get more money on simplified issue business. So always, always, always become that master at selling simplified issue, because that allows you to have more money in your business. Get away from as much card business or like GI or graded business in 2026 if you want to put more money in your pocket. And if you want to do that, go research the carriers. Go find the carriers that take COPD plus insulin plus metformin plus congestive heart failure. We have those carriers at our company, and you can get those too, right? And that creates way more value where you put more money in your pocket, you help people better, and you truly serve them and help them. So, guys, if you follow this blueprint, I promise you'll put more money in your pocket, make more money as a life insurance agent, and it's all by doing the unsexy stuff. I'm really sorry that you probably heard this mic before, but this is your reminder in 2026. Print this out, focus on this, live by this every single day, and I promise you, at the end of next year, if you live by this framework, this rule book, your business will explode. You will make more money, and you'll win as a life insurance agent. If you guys like videos like this, you have not subscribed, you have not liked this video, like it, subscribe, and hit me up on Instagram. I'd love to get to connect with you and hopefully even have you apply to work with us too. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.